liable for.
Mm-hmm.
It's our agreeing that we will use the UHF and a certain amount of volume, and our estimated volume of food purchases is 460,000.
I saw that, yeah. So, you need our approval?
I would, before I make the switch, I certainly, would like your, review and approval that it makes sense to you. It makes sense to me.
Based on what you presented, I have no problem in okaying your recommendation. I'd make a motion that we go with Rob Hollis' recommendation for food service with Cisco UHF.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in support of the motion say aye. Aye, and so voted. So you take care of that?
Will do.
Okay. Robin, would you be kind enough to ask Kathy Gary to come up, please? Would you take that non-public minutes back?
The non-public
That was mine.
minutes.
September 21st, was it?
The approved one?
Yeah,
This one?
those are mine, okay.
Those are approved minutes. Maybe write on, these are the minutes that's going in the archive.
This one was approved, but this one,
No, these are the public minutes.
yeah,
This is non-public.
right. Okay. So we have two contracts, right, with, you got the two, okay, I got one of them. You should have,
This
there's a
is
second
from
copy
Lynn.
of this, right? You have one of them. You keep that one.
Is it the same?
The same thing. Yep.
Okay. This is from the Lynn.
Morning.
Morning, Kathy.
How we doing?
Good.
Good. I received an email from Betsy Miller. I don't know if you also received it, David, regarding the regional planning commissions and our involvement, or the various counties' involvements in those regional planning commissions.
Mhm.
And we did get, also in the mail, just so happens, the dues to the North Country Council.
We've never
At the
paid
same-
those in the past.
Yeah, that's why we don't really have involvement with that
No.
group. Okay, that's
Right.
what my response, I didn't believe anybody was on any of their boards or anything like that.
No, yeah, I'm sure, there's representatives from Carroll County on their board.
I didn't receive any email. You think you can forward
I didn't get
to
that
me?
one.
Oh, sure. Yep, yep. Yeah, it was just asking about our involvement in regional plan.
Mhm, mhm.
I went to the 10 counties, so. Okay. I wasn't sure if you had any questions with regard to Monday's meeting, so I brought,
We'll have a full printout of all departments available, plus those that we have no control over.
mhm.
That will be handed out. The delegation had asked to have copies ahead of time. Delegation doesn't act on our budget till the end of January, and I couldn't see spending money to send out, how many pages?
30 pages.
30
or
pages to
actually
each
40,
individual
yeah.
one. It's a presentation, it's generally open more so for the public to ask questions, and on the other hand, they don't have any reports, so it's difficult for them to ask questions. It's kind of a process that doesn't work very well, I'd say.
And that's the RSA.
Okay, I asked Kathy to come up with the RSA regarding this meeting, public hearing. It says, not earlier than 5, no later than 20 days after the mailing of the Commissioner's statement, there shall be held within the county at such time and place as the chairperson of the county convention may specify. A public hearing on the budget estimates as submitted by the Commissioners. Notice of such public hearing shall be submitted by the clerk of the county convention with a summary of the budget as submitted for publication in a newspaper of general circulation in the county at least 3 days prior to the date of said hearing. So, from what I gather from that, the chairman of the delegation is in charge of the meeting. She sets the time and the place.
Sets the time, and you present.
Right.
The commissioners present.
I thought maybe the commissioners were responsible for that, in charge of it, but apparently are not, according to the RSA. Mr. Babson?
Did I hear you correctly, as you read that it's supposed to be noticed, the budget's supposed to be noticed in the paper 3 or 4 days before the meeting?
Correct.
Was that
At least
done?
3 days.
At least.
Yeah.
At least 2 days prior to the date of
It
said
was
hearing.
done?
Yep.
Where?
It's already in. I've
It's
seen it.
been in the paper.
Has
We
it been
did-
in the Connolly Sun?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. We're doing it once in the Sun and once in the Independent.
Is it an article or is it just an
It's a
ad?
public-
Just a
notice.
just a notice. I got to copy it over the email.
Thank you.
And then it's on the web, and the budget's on the web.
Thank
The
you.
full budget on the web, or just what we send to the
The
state?
state form, yeah. The full budget is too big.
And the one we send to the state doesn't make any sense, really, for the general public to make any comments. But yes, Robin?
There was an issue with posting some stuff to the old website, so I don't know if you'll be able to view it, but
I was able to
you
do
were able
it,
to do
yeah,
it? Okay,
yeah,
because
yeah.
Steph had sent me an email.
Yeah, I checked it that
Okay.
day, and I was able to click on
You were
it.
able to get to it,
Yep.
all right.
Yeah.
Some employees had asked me about the meeting on Monday, and is there going to be an opportunity for them to speak about their budget? I don't know if you folks can answer that, but maybe Representative.
Unless there are some questions.
They had specific questions that they might want to talk about in regards to their budget, and they were just wondering if they'd have an opportunity to speak. I told them I'd get back to them and let them know.
They have several opportunities to talk about their budget during the subcommittees, which is open to the public, and then do the delegation, which is open to the public. We've had them in here and talked with them about their budget. I guess I don't see any problem with them if they want to present something regarding their budget.
Okay, I think they wanted to address the delegation specifically,
Yep.
not the commissioners. Okay.
It might be helpful to have the RSA that describes what a public hearing is for the delegates to look at, because I think the question that Robin's going to is this format that seems to work for our delegation, wherein they have public comment at the beginning and at the end,
Yeah.
and no public comment in the middle, which may be appropriate for a delegation meeting, but isn't appropriate for a public hearing on a budget. Public hearing on a budget is just that, a public hearing where the public can ask questions, weigh in at any given time during the meeting.
I would open that up Monday if I have
The
any
employees-
say with it. It's for the public
The
to ask
employees
questions.
that may have questions are going to ask questions.
Yeah.
Maybe directed towards a budget that they're more knowledgeable about, but they're still, part of the public.
Yep. Yep. So yes, the answer is yes. It's a public meeting, anybody from the public, including our employees. Yep. Okay,
That's it.
that's all you
I mean,
have?
the other question that people are asking with Christmas coming, and Christmas is on Sunday the 25th, our office, when will it be closed, and we were, my suggestion would be Monday the 26th. We've had that question presented to us.
The 26th rather than the 23rd.
Yeah,
Robin, what's the union contract say?
doesn't say.
For when the offices are closed. If
Yeah,
if the
for
holiday
Christmas.
falls under, what we've always done is if the holiday falls on a Sunday, we take the Monday off.
Monday off, okay. Then we'll have Monday off.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
You wanna comment on what we can do with the bond, what's left over with the bond money? There are two reasons for it.
Right, the bond, the money that's left over, and what I will do is I will pull my emails that I had gotten from David Barnes explaining the money that's left over, the delegation can use to make principal payments, annual payments. Not just say $2 million on the principal, but the principal payment that's due that year can be used for that money. And also, the other would be capital. If there's other capital improvements to be made, that money can be used for that.
Anywhere, or just on the?
For the county.
Or just on the building that the
No,
bond is taken
the
out?
county, because it's the county's bond. The thing is, there has to be public hearings when these things are done, or decisions are made. There has to be a public hearing, so those are the two, and I will get my correspondence from him so that you guys will have it
Pass
for
it out.
Monday.
Yeah, I think it was passed out to the
It's
delegation.
been before, I've
Yeah.
had the information before.
Yep.
But
Yep.
you can't just say, I'm gonna send $2 million on the principal. Well, that's not what the principal payment is. It's 1.175 annually, so.
But it might be helpful to get the language of the
Yeah.
bond, because when they say capital improvements, that's certainly open to interpretation. So I'm sure that in the bond document, there's probably some description of what that could.
Well, yeah,
be.
the correspondence
And
I've
then
had
if you
from.
have more than the principal payment amount left from the project, 1 year's principal payment amount left, what do you do with the additional money? Do you put it in your reserve
And then use it
wait?
the next year?
So effectively, you've increased your reserve by a certain amount of money that's going to be depleted the following year by some payment against principal or capital improvement.
I would assume that the $1 million that the delegation approved for the old nursing home would be coming out of that. They haven't said where that million would come from.
Mhm. Yeah, and you can't include interest in that amount. Interest is not part of it. You know, we have an annual payment on the bond,
Right.
which is principal and interest. It's only principal.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody any questions on that? Yes.
In both instances, it has to go through the delegation.
Yes, absolutely.
And then that includes, now, when you're talking about the money that's left over, the surplus, is that just the construction, left over after construction, or does that include what was considered the contingency fund? Does that been lumped into it too? 'Cause that wasn't spent, the contingency fund money wasn't spent either, right, completely anyway.
Completely, right.
Right, so is that money part of what's being considered